So we meet again, old foe.
Yes, audiences, you can guess by that horribly synced up message, Pedro and Dwibs, not quite sure about Shiro.
Yeah, she does, because she also has kind of a history with social networks. So
welcome to another.
But that's the only movie of his I've seen.
Welcome to another movie with the Aaron Sorkin trio featuring Jova. And today we are going to be looking at 2015 Steve Jobs, starring Michael Fassbender, Kate Winslet, Seth Rogen, and Jeff Daniels. And it was directed by
a pretty good cast.
It was directed by Danny Boyle, who's most famous for giving us Train Spotting, and written by Aaron Sorkin, whose last film we looked at was The Social Network. Now, like The Social Network, this movie was was basically telling bits and pieces of the life. No, it's a critical success. Basically, it's just bits and pieces of the life story of a famous computer person, in this case, Steve Jobs. Unlike The Social Network, however, this movie was a commercial failure. It cost $30 million to make, and it made just about that much at the box office.
Wow, so they got lucky.
Yeah, and also, fun fact, this movie was originally supposed to be distributed by Sony, but Sony, even though they thought they were missing out on a gem of a movie, decided it wasn't worth the financial risk, so they dropped it. Universal took it, and it wasn't
Sony,
a good...
you were very smart.
Yeah, unfortunately, I saw the movie in the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how bad could it be?
From what I've heard, it's bad, but not as bad as Social Network, at least.
Yeah, on one hand, Danny Boyle, I think Danny Boyle's a better director than David Fincher, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Basically,
it's going to be interesting when we get to eventually doing the commentary of Social Network that involves me.
Anyway, start your copy of the movie just before, on a black screen before the Universal logo.
Yes.
Comes up.
Almost a second before it.
Yeah, alright. 3, 2, 1, click.
Oh, hold on. Give me a time.
We're at 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm at 12.
Oh, I love this team. And click.
Wow, Pedro barely started on the window.
I fucked up, sorry. Anyway, Universal logo.
Yeah.
I love the new Universal
also, Comcast.
theme.
Ding!
Is this part of the movie or is this part of the logo?
It's part of the movie.
Legendary.
Wait, why are they talking about 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Because the characters are all wishing they were in a better movie.
Here we go. So we start off the movie with, I guess...
You're not worthy of mentioning that movie, you asshole.
Okay. Arthur C. Okay, I'll confess.
Is that little young or something?
I don't know, and I'll say I have no idea who this guy is.
Okay, hold on. There must be a mistake. I came here to watch Steve Jobs, a movie from 2015. Why are we watching a movie from the 1930s?
I guess this is to eventually lead up and build up to him creating the godforsaken apple.
Who Aaron Sorkin?
Is this? Well, hold on. Actually, I've realized this now. Yeah, this is Arthur C. Clarke, the co-writer of 2001: A Space Odyssey. So, why are we showing footage of him?
Why are we? Because it's computing.
David Fincher wishes.
I guess
not David Fincher. Aaron Sorkin wishes he was as good as Stanley Kubrick. I guess I don't know.
I guess we should try listening to the dialogue before judging it. I guess
1984.
Mac and
It's not gonna say hello.
Wait. We're always skipping to the creation of Mac, but shouldn't this movie be about Steve Jobs' life or something?
Well, okay. For those who don't know, Steve Jobs actually started out at Atari.
And
eventually,
we're skipping over that.
We're barely 5 minutes into this movie, and I already hate everyone I've seen.
So let me get this straight.
Just horrible.
This is in Aaron Sorkin.
Hold on. So let me get this straight, Dwibs. This is a movie called Steve Jobs, and we've already skipped over a good portion of its history, skipping ahead to the launch of the Macintosh.
Well, Joe, I'm pretty sure they want to focus on the Apple stuff, not so much this stuff before that.
All right, okay. If there's one thing that I will give this movie,
I could do.
If there's one thing I'll give this movie credit for, Michael Fassbender is one of my favorite actors working today, and he is good here.
Who's he? Oh, let me guess. He plays Steve Jobs, doesn't he?
Yes. And Kate Winslet, I like her too, but her accent kind of alters part of the time.
A reminder that Steve Jobs used to hold a great portion of Pixar before
That's
he
not
died.
mentioned in the film.
And that's not something I knew until yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you found out about that yesterday?
Yeah, during I think we discussed it for some reason, either just before or during Zootopia.
All right.
During
All right, basically, they're trying to... Okay, they're having a bit of a problem with the machine, but they apparently need special tools because Steve Jobs had the idea of having it so you can't really alter the machine in any way.
So this takes place in 1984, this current scene, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's weird because, I looked up the plot on Wikipedia, and I'm only looking at what we've seen so far. And yeah, there's no mentioning of the scene we saw before this with the black and white part.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So basically, that scene was just a waste of our time. Good to know.
I guess. Okay. There is one interesting thing about this movie. This movie takes place over 3 time periods, and depending on what time period we're in, it uses a different kind of camera. I'm just going to look it up now real quick so I'll know. So I got a source to refer to. Steve Jobs has no care for human life.
Well, sadly, Steve Jobs was a bit of an a-hole, but is this movie going to, go a bit over with it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Also, this movie had a lawsuit.
Oh, boy.
Want to know why? It was because a photo of a shark used in the film is the subject of a lawsuit by the photographer.
Good to know.
Okay, here we go. Okay, the first act of this movie is shot in 16mm, the second was in 35, and the final act is in digital HD.
Also, weird. A lot of people have things to say about
consistency is overrated.
Okay, no, to be fair, I think it's to reflect what time period they're in.
It's funny. A lot of people have stuff to say about this movie. I'll wait till you're done.
Kate Winslet's character is trying to convince Steve Jobs that because they didn't advertise the...
Wait, that's Kate Winslet?
Yeah.
Oh, she looks...
All right. Basically, the voice demo thing, Jobs didn't advertise it for the presentation, but he's so insistent on having it in because... Because...
Also, I don't know. The way Danny was directing this feels a lot like one of those, TV. This is more like a TV episode rather than a movie, really. I mean, the overall way it's directed and the production values don't look that good, honestly, I think.
I wonder if it's intentional because of the time period.
I guess, but...
Also, let's see. Edwin Catmull, president of Pixar Animation Studios and Walt Disney Animation Studios, felt that Jobs would be appalled at his depiction in the film, arguing that he was a kinder person later in life than is portrayed in the picture.
So,
in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Catmull commented, "When Jobs left Apple, he then entered into what is really the classic hero's journey. He's wandering in the wilderness, he's working with Next. It's not working. Working with Pixar, we're failing. In that process, Steve learned some major lessons and he changed. He became an empathetic person. That aspect of the change of Steve was missed." So apparently...
I dropped for whatever reason.
So apparently the thing about his...
is the movie still going for you, though?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So apparently the gist is Steve was a jerk in real life, but he eventually at some point redeemed himself, which this movie apparently doesn't include.
Let me guess, Dwebs. He never redeems himself in this movie.
At the very, very end, he does.
So we have to wait until the end for this character to be likable. That's wonderful.
We're in trouble.
Yeah.
So, what exactly is Kate Winslet's role again? Oh, wait. That's right. Is she a secretary for some other business guy?
She's playing Joanna Hoffman, who was a marketing executive who worked closely with Steve.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what Joanna Hoffman had to say about this movie.
And she's Polish. Not that you can tell from Kate Winslet's accent at times, though.
Oh, Winslet actually spent time with the real Joanna Hoffman to prepare for the role before production.
I mean, if there is, one of the many things Kate Winslet has is dedication.
I can always appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this bit from Steve Wozniak.
Jova, let's not mention Wozniak till a bit later on because it's a point I want to bring up.
Oh. Okay.
We'll bring it up when the time comes.
Yeah, apparently historical accuracy can be an issue in this movie, it seems.
Okay, my issue with these movies is when is when they do a combination of both something that what didn't happen in real life and it's detrimental to the movie.
Yeah. Patch Adams is chock full of that stuff, but I'm guessing it's also a case, albeit not as bad here.
Suppose.
Well, actually, no. It's probably just as bad because, if it's a major historical inaccuracy.
Okay, if I can give Aaron Sorkin credit over Steve Odekirk, is that well, at least he didn't change any of the genders to manipulate the audience.
Yeah.
So yeah, Aaron Sorkin's not that depraved.
So what exactly is he complaining about right now?
There's no Mac on this picture.
Oh, boo-hoo! The Mac that I just made isn't that well known. I mean, look, dude, yeah, you could advertise it all you want, but the thing has to actually catch on for it to be a big thing.
Okay, now we're gonna get another subplot of the movie. Basically, it's him and his estranged, I don't know, fiance, wife, girlfriend, whatever, and his daughter, who he claims isn't his.
Well, Kate Winslet's worked rather well on her American accent lately.
She's Polish, remember?
Mm-hmm.
The character's Polish.
Wait, the character's Polish, but it sounds like an American accent.
Ugh.
Oh, wait, is that her accent showing now?
It's incredibly weird.
Yeah, it is.
Huh.
Me and you. That's a song in there somewhere.
You know, it's really a hard case of a character like Steve Jobs because the guy was well known to be an a-hole, so I don't know how much of this is legit or not.
Hello.
Really?
All right. Okay. Let's see what this is going to bring us. Okay. Okay. One problem I have with this movie, I usually like deadpan, snarky humor. You know the yeah, that kind.
I like that.
But
let me guess. Aaron Sorkin sucks at it.
That and he overuses it.
So not only does he suck at it, he also overuses the fuck out of it. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's really not funny.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, we're trying to get a computer to say hello. Excuse me, that's not how computers work.
Well, he was trying to do that at the start. I mean, apparently they had it working at one point, but it apparently
Well,
started
actually,
breaking.
Let me try with mine.
Okay. Well, actually, if you have speech technology on your computer, then it can work.
Hold on. So this is still back in the 80s, right?
84.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure we didn't have that in the 80s.
Okay. That Lisa bit, remember that. That'll come up later.
Sure.
Okay.
Being called Lisa is a coincidence.
Okay, the girl's not 5. Pretty sure that.
Okay.
Are you sure it was a coincidence?
Maybe yes, maybe not.
We'll find out later. Here we go.
Oh, boy. Aaron. Shut up, Aaron. Aaron must have had a really shitty life, and now he thinks that this is just how everybody is.
Right. Sorry, my nose. Yeah, your wife's in... Well, your wife is in welfare, and you're saying Apple stock is undervalued. What's a Parker? Door opens. Oh yeah, another running gag in this is that there's 2 people named Andy.
That's funny because...
One's a guy, one's a girl.
Oh. Ha! I see what you did there, Aaron. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, for all people say how Aaron Sorkin's a genius writer, half the stuff he makes is kind of plain.
Not just plain. His writing is just plain, not enjoyable. His writing is so cold and cynical. It's just so...
Yeah, this isn't even like soap opera melodrama. This is just straight-faced melodrama.
That's not even just that, Shiro. If this was melodrama, they would be crying. Like, this is just, we're gonna make everybody into a dick because that's edgy and avant-garde.
I'm expecting someone to cry later. Well, actually, no, the ladies was already crying.
Yeah, so funny. But this is Aaron Sorkin movie. You do that all the time.
You're a dickhead.
Everybody's a dickhead.
Well, it'll be fine, the biggest dickhead of all.
And
yeah, I'm with this lady.
and by the way, could someone please explain to me why I'm talking like a robot?
Who? Kate Winslet.
The woman with the glasses, yes.
I don't know.
Poor Kate. I actually really like Kate Winslet, so it's kind of painful. And the same thing with Fassbender. It's such a shame to see such good talent wasted in this tribe. I love how the music is treating this as if this is like intense drama or some shit.
Okay. The score for this was done by Daniel Pemberton. And if there's one thing that can give this movie of a Social Network, it has more of a tune.
It has music instead of noise.
That's it.
That is fucking it.
I wish that was fucking it.
Five.
She looks older than 5.
The thing is, Shiroi, it's usually it's always a similar thing. Get slightly older actors because older actors have more experience and shit.
Yeah, spoons.
I think she looks convincing enough, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's a. I mean, if there's one thing I haven't seen, this is the only Danny Boyle film I've seen all the way through. But from what I can tell, he's good at directing actors, at least.
Mm-hmm. Well, except for the fact that Kate Winslet was looking like a robot earlier, though.
Again, she has a hard time with the accent in this movie. One second she sounds American, then she's Polish, and then she's American again. I mean, I get that her character moved from Poland to the States, but you should at least keep some of your accent. Wow, even the characters are questioning him. No, you don't. There we go. There's Steve Wozniak, played by Seth Rogen.
Hey, sorry I had to burn.
Don't worry, Jovi, just in time for the whole Steve Wozniak thing.
Don't worry, all you missed was people being assholes.
Guys, on the plus side, I have good news and bad news.
What?
The good news is that now conversions from British items to American items are on a great discount. The bad news is the reason for that.
Yeah, let's not get into that right now. Yeah, again, let's not get into that.
Wait. Is that actor who I think it is?
Yeah, Seth Rogen.
What the heck?
Seth, what are you doing, Seth?
So, what's going on with him and his daughter?
Basically, he's always denying that she's his daughter. Because
he's still doing that? Seriously?
Don't get me wrong, Darren Sorkin's still a better writer than Frank Miller, but damn.
It's not saying much.
Yeah.
And she made a picture of pants. No, it's a pair of pants.
Oh, maybe he's going to get to know her. Maybe he's going to get nice with her.
So he's teaching her how to save.
That's nice.
I guess.
Well, why does that look so
oh my god, a character doing something nice. He's going to die, isn't he?
No, seriously, what's with that one?
Pedro, I'll just say now there's no death.
Oh.
Seriously though, why does the woman look so terrified?
Because she's just realized how much movie she's in.
Oh, that's why. Because she was hoping he would actually appreciate her. You know, movie, maybe it would have been nice to, show these two characters getting to know each other, maybe for a small patch. Or is it really just focusing on him and Apple?
You hear that, Webs? He's asking for character development.
Hilarious.
Is there something I don't know, Dwibs?
Put it this way, Jova. Aaron Sorkin's characters don't really develop.
You know, seriously though, it's a historical movie. We should get to know the character and the people who saw him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Here's one thing you don't realize. Yes, it's true that a lot of pretty much everybody in the world knows who Steve Jobs was. Yeah, pretty much. However, movies still
don't know him as a person, sadly.
Yeah, okay, fine. But the point is, they should still make it intelligible for anyone who's ever even heard of Steve Jobs. Like, for example,
Here's another running. It's not running gag per se, but just like a reoccurring other thing. I forgot what it's called exactly.
Sure.
Basically, Wozniak's going to be constantly asking Steve Jobs to credit the Apple II team. The Apple II was the predecessor to the.
Oh, Wozniak! Cool you! Have we gotten to that part where I can bring up what he had to say about the movie?
To the Mac, yeah, and basically, apparently, the whole him constantly badgering Jobs about crediting the Apple II team didn't even happen in real life.
Yep, in fact,
Beautiful.
he had quite a speech to say. Who wants to read it?
You read it, Jovi. You got
me.
the page.
If she's 9,
Basically, he said...
oh God, he can't do math. He can't do math.
What? What is that, Joy?
I just said he can't do math.
Who, the character?
The character.
Well, Shiroi, if it makes you feel any better, I also am not very good at math, I guess. Well, I do. The interesting thing is that unlike most people who are not good at math, I actually kind of like math. I like it better than some other subjects, honestly.
All right,
So
Jovi.
Steve Jobs in this movie isn't good at math?
Well, to be fair, not even geniuses have their weaknesses. Like, for example, Albert Einstein. For those who don't know, Albert Einstein, the physics genius, he was actually pretty shitty as a student.
Oh, I know that.
I'm specifically talking about that.
Huh?
Sorry, Shira, could you repeat that?
Is your child? He's not your child.
I think the ghost of
wait,
Steve Jobs...
did this become a silent movie now?
He's going about 94%.
I mean, the only reason I'm a bit surprised is like, well, I could have sworn I heard that Steve Jobs was actually good at math, you know, and you'd think he would at least know basic math when he's this head at this point.
No, what I was talking about, where he said 94% chance he's the father, and he's saying he's not the father. I just...
Oh, yeah, that is stupid.
94%.
Okay. Here's another trope with Aaron Sorkin movies. Although, to be fair, apparently this is how Steve Jobs liked to talk to people in real life. Walk and talk. Okay. I get that you want to pay respects to past teams, but like Steve Jobs is going to mention that later on, you have to move on from that. I mean, I know it was the only successful product they had at that point, but you can't just rely on that product forever and ever. You need a new product eventually.
Yeah.
As Steve Wozniak said, that he does not look that way. I would never accuse the graphical interface of being stolen. I never made comments to the effect that I had credit genius taken from me. The lines I heard spoken was not things I would say, but carried the right message, at least partly. I felt a lot of the real Jobs in the trailer, although a bit exaggerated. Wozniak did not ask to see the final script because he did not think that would be appropriate. It is the creative work of the producer and writer and actors and the directors and the others.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
He also noted that the trailer's reference to Jobs' initial rejection of his daughter Lisa evoked an emotional response. It was hard on me, even being quiet, when Jobs refused to acknowledge his child when the money didn't matter. And I almost cry remembering it. Oh, so that bit was real.
Aaron, why do you hate people so much? What happened to you?
The sad thing, Paige, is like, but hearing some of this, a lot of this actually may be based on the real Steve Jobs.
I know, but I'm talking about the way how he on purpose misconstrued facts to make Steve Jobs look an even worse person than he was.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of an achievement, too, when you think about it, because Steve Jobs is one of those guys who, when you first...
And apparently, at the end, we're supposed to sympathize with this version of Steve Jobs.
Whoa.
Well, Dwebs,
You were supposed to sympathize
hold on, Dwebs. Hold on, Dwebs. You're telling me that he's repeating the social network formula.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wait, we were supposed to feel sorry for Mark Zuckerberg in that movie, too?
Yes, we were.
But that guy was a creep.
Well, Jova, what can I tell you?
Sorkin's a bit warped.
So let me get this straight. You make Steve Jobs even more of a jerk than he was in real life. An accomplishment, mind you, but you made him even more of a jerk, and you expect us to sympathize him from the get-go?
Yes.
Okay, maybe not at the get-go, but
maybe not at the get-go.
At certain points throughout the movie and at the end. This is the reason that this version of Wozniak constantly gives to Steve Jobs about crediting the Apple II team. It's the right thing to do.
And apparently Wozniak says he does not talk like that. I don't know if I should agree with Steve Jobs on that because this Wozniak fellow is a bit obnoxious.
Well, Joe, but this is an Aaron Sorkin. This is an Aaron Sorkin movie. There's no such thing as sympathetic characters.
And what exactly is he accusing him of stealing from anyway?
I mean, even Andrew Garfield as Eduardo, which started out as the only sympathetic character of any sort of humanity, even he had his crap moments.
But yeah, seriously though, I'm like, well, who is Wozniak accusing Jobs of stealing from?
Not really sure. Okay, basically they're trying to have a short-term fix for the whole no computers not saying hello problem by having, they're basically cheating.
Wow, so this is basically the equivalent to a patch update when you think about it.
No, basically they're having they're putting in it's like an illusion.
Yeah, but...
Hang on, there's a fly in my room, I better sort that out. You guys go on with this. I'll be right back.
Sure.
No problem. Ready for the big show? This music is interesting.
Well, I guess it's at least music, which is more I can say for social network score.
I'm even
ashamed to call that a score.
Seriously, this reminds me so much of the first Terminator film with a soundtrack.
Well, this part is 1984, so
the CDs part.
Connection?
Yeah, I guess so. So this is the Mac, right?
Yes.
I forget. Was the Mac immediately associated with Apple from the get-go, or was it like later when stuff like the iPod came?
I forgot. I'm not really much of a Mac guy. Shiro, are you still there?
Me neither. Joy?
No, I guess she's burped too.
When she gets connection issues because she sounded cutting in and out.
When she gets back, we'll ask her about it since she's the
Donald Trump? Oh wait, never mind. It's just someone who looked like Donald Trump from the side. Can't be too careful these days.
Well, he would fit right at home in a Sorkin movie, so sure, why not?
Oh, but Pedro, what are you saying? Aaron Sorkin has to create characters. Donald Trump, you don't have to create them. You have it right there. Oh, God. Hindsight. Himself to Julius Caesar. You talking about the people who went to see this movie in theaters? Quick, get them to the nearest exit.
It is.
Here's the sad thing about movies like this. Okay. This sort of movie can be done well, but...
Oh, it can. I've seen plenty of great biopics. Martin Scorsese's Wolf of Wall Street, Clint Eastwood's J. Edgar.
Oh, shoot, I was about to say, also that J. Edgar Hoover movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, even certain Titanic movies, like A Night to Remember, that sort of stuff. It's like, but here's an issue I have with this. It's similar to United Passions. I'm left confused with what's going on here because the story doesn't exactly do a good way of sucking you in and,
Yeah.
portraying stuff right. And you're kind of wondering,
The problem is,
sorry, what event is this?
Sorry. Keep going.
They don't even give subtitles, saying, it's this. Oh, well, okay. They tell us the time date, but they don't really give a good idea of what's happening at the moment. It's like, well, take for instance a movie like Titanic in case. Okay, so you've got them, of course, going to port, leaving. Sometimes they document the making of a ship, and then the ship sinks. You go into stuff like that. Boom, there you go. But yet in this movie and United Passions, well, they may give subtitles, but I'm so confused as to what's going on that I have to consult a guide at times.
The problem is that Aaron Sorkin's idea of storytelling is he doesn't have to he doesn't think of movies as entertainment, I guess. He thinks of movies as something
Homework?
Yeah. I mean, everything is just so... Again, like I said, his writing is so cold and cynical. There's no warmth in these people's bones. I mean, if you don't give me anything appealing in your movie, why am I even watching it? I might as well be looking at a wall for all I care.
And I'm so confused because I don't really know that much about Steve Jobs as him. I mean, he's not really a guy I follow that much in history. And, this is a movie that's supposed to be telling me about him. I shouldn't be wondering what's going on at the moment.
Steve Jobs isn't even in the movie for the most part.
What?
Look at this.
Edison Steve Jobs?
Wait, is he? I kind of got lost track. Is this supposed to be Steve Jobs? I thought Steve Jobs used glasses. Are you sure this is supposed to be Steve Jobs?
Yeah, I thought he did too. Although I guess this is before he had glasses.
Hold on. I'm so complete. I was taken out of this movie so fast that I'm so... Yeah, hold on. Yeah, here we go. It's Steve Jobs. Yeah, it's Michael Fassbender. Oh, God, what the fuck?
I know, that... It takes a really bad movie to, pull you out of it like that, doesn't it?
It doesn't even look... He doesn't even look like Steve Jobs, honestly.
I mean, I guess it's his younger times? I have no idea.
Still, though... I mean, I've seen old pictures of Steve Jobs. He had glasses back then.
Okay, yeah, then this is stupid.
Let me see if I can find one.
Unless he actually... What the... surely they must have had some...
Alright, sorted out that fly problem. By the way, that guy there earlier, Jeff Daniels, he's actually been in a Sorkin movie, Sorkin project before. I think it was The Newsroom.
Is this... they would use actual footage from, the
okay, never mind. Never mind. I kind of...
Okay, basically this movie doesn't even actually show the actual conferences. It just shows the build-up to them.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And you were saying, Pedro?
Here. This is why I got confused, see, because this is an actual picture of Steve Jobs back in these days. Fassbender doesn't even look remotely like him. I mean, I get that getting an actor who really looks like a certain person, it can be hard, but you couldn't find anyone even remotely like this?
And sadly, Fassbender is actually credited as one of the factors of this film's box office failure. Because he's not that big of a name compared to other actors. So yeah, okay, 1988, Jobs was fired from Apple, so he set up a new company called Next.
Yes. Is he? Or she? Or, I apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to? I don't. This movie's so boring. I don't. Someone please do something interesting. You guys still there, by the way? Oh.
Hey.
Oh, welcome back. You guys let me all alone with this. I just...
Yeah. Sorry, it's just got fly problems in my room.
This movie's so boring. It's just people rambling on and 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 on. No.
Right.
Could you please talk about something interesting? Please. Stop bitching at each other. I don't care about... Also, this music is incredibly unfitting.
Well, we sorted out the
I'm not getting me wrong. It's better than noise, but I mean, the music still has to fit the movie.
I suppose. All right, so now he's got his seeing his daughter again. Right.
Oh my god, we're 40 minutes into this, and what has really happened so far, really?
We had a bunch of discussions about how Jobs is a dick and how to fix a computer and his issues with his missus and his daughter. Oh, and also, please credit the Apple II. It's the right thing to do. Well, actually, I think Jobs is talking the most sense here. I mean, she's supposed to go to school and yet she's banging on about a ruler.
Mm-hmm. Then, okay, here's a good idea, Aaron. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the viewer.
Right.
Please tell me this conversation is actually going somewhere.
We'll see. Not. Uh-huh. Okay, he's not an Apple anymore, so he shouldn't have to mention the Apple II team, okay?
I forget. Didn't you tell me that that David Fincher was originally going to direct this?
Yeah, he was supposed to be the director, but he had a bit of an issue with the budget and the direction of the movie, so he left.
What, really?
I'm
guessing like, what? Sorry, these characters are not enough assholes for me. Make them even more ass. I'm guessing he wanted to make Steve Jobs into a murderer, but they didn't let him, so he quit the project. That's my theory.
Alright, a bit later on in the movie, they're gonna explain... Okay, I think it's later on in this act, they're gonna do a little showing off of how and why Steve Jobs was fired from Apple. Oh god, this scene.
What?
And that's the
So you're a conductor? Is that what you're telling me?
where did Joe and Shiroy go?
I don't know.
Yeah, our glorious leader abandoning us again.
It's a watch, dude.
Yeah. And Nixie what? Wait, they were wait, 1 minute they were going on about Wozniak's thoughts on Steve Jobs, what he told them, another banging on about watches.
I guess Aaron Sorkin got bored of the conversation, so he decided to just switch to something completely different, I guess. I don't know.
But, you know, but again, it's Aaron Sorkin. Anything he apparently writes the press are going to eat up. Unless it's like half a Studio 60.
Oh, God.
Did he just invent the wristwatch? Or something, or a bomb? Okay, now we're getting back to the whole fallout they had thing. So that's the whole
So am I
orchestra thing.
again? Am I supposed to like this guy?
Hell, I'm not even big on Wozniak in this movie because half the time in this he keeps banging on about the Apple II team. Friends? Really? You haven't really acted, aside from that one moment, you haven't really acted friendly throughout the entire movie.
Again, Dwebs, this is how Aaron Sorkin views friendship. People bitching at each other 24/7, I guess. Like I said, Aaron, what happened to you? Somebody hurt you really bad, didn't they?
Was he like this in, what's that film he did, was it called Children of Men?
A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men, sorry.
Children of Men is by Alfonso Cuarón.
Ah, yeah, sorry, I get them mixed up. Was it like this in that film?
No. And that's what baffles me to no end, because in A Few Good Men, the characters actually talk like people, and the story was actually interesting, so I still have no idea what the hell happened to that Aaron Sorkin. My theory is that sometime after A Few Good Men, someone must have, I don't know, broke his heart or something, and he became incredibly hateful towards humanity for some reason, because Jesus Christ.
It's not very helpful. Okay, so
There's a plan.
They're using a different camera this time. Because 88 now. Do you think the direction's improved a bit at least?
Yeah, the direction is getting better, I'll admit.
Yeah, because
started a bit dodgy though.
Yeah, I guess it's Daniel Ball. Okay, Daniel Ball actually has his scenes, lit. Jova, Shiroi, where are you?
My guess is Shiroi probably fell asleep. I wouldn't blame her.
And Jova's, I don't know. They muted the audio and it's playing the whatever instrument.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize. One of our members fell victim to Aaron Sorkin's incredibly boring writing. So please,
you've got a boring person here, me. Sorry. If I could get a comedian here, I would, but I can't because it's.
That's actually a good point you bring up. Could someone please say something funny, something witty, something that something that actually puts a smile on my face? Please.
No, Pedro. Sorkin's trying to do that.
He is? I can only imagine what it would be like if he wasn't trying. Also, okay. Was there any point to that bathroom scene? Did we actually need to see that?
Well, he didn't show his balls.
I know, but was there any reason? Is there any reason as Confused Mafia would say, is there any reason in the fucking universe why we had to watch him go into the toilet and then flush?
To kill time?
Oh, Shiroi is still alive. For a moment there I thought Aaron killed you.
Well, he's probably killed
I've been here the whole time. I just haven't been able to unmute. So I've heard everything that's going on.
Okay.
Oh, then you probably heard...
Alright, audience, false alarm. Turns out Shiroi did survive.
Actually, Ribs, I didn't hear that. What was that?
You're a wonderful human being.
Sure.
actually, there's you just reminded me of that gag from a Seinfeld episode where basically the characters are tired of the whole bless you whenever someone sneezes because it doesn't make any sense to them. So they decided, for the sake of variety, for now on, whenever someone says, we just say, "You're so good looking," because that at least makes them feel a little bit better than just bless you. Oh my god, we're doing this. We've already done this scene. I thought.
Okay. Apparently, this movie's trying to get across that she's apparently becoming mentally unhinged.
Jesus Christ.
I'm a wreck. Feel sorry for me. So, at least
what's she gonna do?
At least the Sorkin trio's together again.
Together again. Oh, it's so good to be together again.
Also, yeah, the running gag's back again. Which Andy is it? This one.
Yes, because this is a fantastic reunion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, this music doesn't fit.
Okay, basically, Shiroi, this movie at least eliminates the noise problem because Daniel Pemberton can actually make a tune. But
the problem is that the music doesn't fit the movie at all. It's too happy and peppy.
Okay, I get dissonance when it's used on purpose, but yeah. Maybe I wasn't old enough for this and didn't get the jokes or something.
Honestly, I don't think even Danny's cinematography directing is doing all that much for me. Most of the scenes is just people talking and walking somewhere and him falling behind with the camera. Like, the cinematography is kind of bland, to be honest.
Well, when you have this script to work with...
I guess, yeah. Yeah, true. I guess, yeah.
I mean, even though he's the director, you have to follow the script still.
True.
I know, but everyone in this movie's a downer.
And especially considering how inexplicably popular Aaron Sorkin is, apparently they just take his script, go genius, and then run with it.
Basically, Shiroi, I was saying earlier that someone must have really, really hurt Aaron Sorkin in the past. Someone maybe a woman broke his heart or something. Like, it's amazing how his view of humankind is so bleak and cold. Go ahead.
I mean, humans are assholes, but they're not a constant in each person's life.
See, here's the thing.
That's why Aaron Sorkin made this movie for all 6 people to see.
It doesn't even make any sense. Okay, I don't think, especially for a writer who prides himself on making movies that reflect the times we live in. I'm sorry, when I go out into the street, I don't just see people bitching at each other. Especially in my line of work.
I think this is about you, not other people.
Especially in my line of work, because I'm a waiter, so I meet a lot of people in my line of work, and most people are pretty nice, actually. So, I don't... Okay, see, one of the excuses I keep hearing from Sorkin fans is that, but don't you see, this is the corporate world. In the corporate world, people tend to be a lot more assholes than outside of it. Okay, even if that's true, it still doesn't make for an entertaining movie. I mean...
And I mean, people who have the tendency to be assholes aren't assholes all the time.
Hell, I mean, this movie does at least try to have a few bits and pieces where he isn't acting assholes, like he's giving money.
Are they the moments where he's not talking?
Where he's giving money to his estranged missus, and he put them in a house that's nearby a school for his daughter.
And he said it would be a good school.
Oh, trust me, Shiroi. Be glad that you didn't do Gone Girl with us, because believe it or not, Gone Girl takes this whole make everybody a dick concept to the ultimate extreme.
And Sorkin had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, but it was David Fincher, the director of Social Network. Not the writer, but the director, so it still has connection. Interesting. Basically, Shiroi, in Gone Girl, we're supposed to sympathize with a woman who literally murders like 7 people or something. Basically, everybody in that movie is a fucking psychopath. I don't...
Except,
Why would I sympathize with a murderer?
Oh, the best character is played by Tyler Perry.
Yeah, that's the sad part. Tyler Perry is the most likable character in the movie. Okay, allow me to bring this up. Okay, I get what you're trying to do, have classical music accompanying it to give it some kind of sophisticated tone to it, kind of like what Stanley Kubrick did with Clockwork Orange with Beethoven music. But the big difference is that in Clockwork Orange, first of all, it also just felt justified because Alex himself was a huge Beethoven fan, and Kubrick still actually directed the movie accordingly, so that the scenes and the way it's directed fit what the music is going for. Of course, one of the great examples, of course, is when Alex is beating the crap out of his gang and throwing them into the pond. But here we just have bland scenes with bland talking and with classical music played over it.
Hey guys, guess what?
Yeah.
We've still got over an hour left.
Oh,
and
goody.
Jova, there you are.
Basically, Jova, people are assholes, the music doesn't fit, and this is boring.
Anything good happened?
Not really.
Michael Fassbender?
No. See, I don't blame the actors. I don't blame the actors at all, because these actors have proven themselves to be great actors in lots of movies, so I'm not blaming them.
I love him as Magneto.
So historically, what has happened so far?
Honestly, so far story-wise,
we're in 1988.
we had a talk about Apple and who's the real genius, but aside from that, plot-wise, not much as that. Oh yeah, Michael Fassbender is also trying to convince his daughter to go back to school, but aside from that, just people bitching at each other, and that's it.
Okay, and also we're in 1988 now. Jobs was fired from Apple after the Mac.
Wait. We're at 1988 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, to be fair, there was a transition.
Was there? I didn't even notice it.
Okay. It was the whole. They skipped the conference. They go on, but they do have clips from news reports, and saying, "Oh, he was fired. There's losing money. He's fired," and then he cuts to here.
Oh yeah, because that totally is an easy to notice transition, right? It's not like if you would blink, you'd miss it.
I know you're paying for it. It's like I said, this is like the Steve Jobs equivalent to United Passions. The portrayal of what time.
I wouldn't say it's that bad.
What I'm saying, dude, is like I'm talking about it actually conveying the.
He's talking about the way. I'm talking about the way it's not the story itself so much as the way it's being told. It's just again being so cold and cynical and so uninviting. This movie isn't even trying to be entertaining. It's just indulging in itself.
Next.
Alright, another issue I've had with the girls that at times, okay, not all the time, but at times, I don't really see how a 10-year-old girl talks like that.
So, ironically, let me get this straight. Before owning it, Steve Jobs got fired from Apple.
Yeah.
Because of the failure of the Macintosh.
Hold on, Dwips. Are you trying to imply that Aaron Sorkin cannot write a human being to save his life?
Or at least not in Social Network and Steve Jobs. Again, you're supposed to be going to school. You're gonna get detention, you know.
Why are you even here exactly?
Jova, how many classes?
Okay. Guys, the daughter just hugged Steve Jobs. We're supposed to feel heartwarmed here, I guess.
How many lessons do you think she's missed by this point?
What is this emotion? Dwibs, I'm getting these weird feelings called emotions. I don't know where they're coming. Yeah.
20 by my count.
I think Shira dropped or something.
Okay, we've got an hour left.
She's writing something. Hold on.
How bad could it be?
Dwibs, try removing her from the call and adding her again, please. Or whatever you're doing.
All right, here we go. Here's the whole why he was fired from Apple thing, because basically Jeff Daniels is here.
Jeff Daniels, another actor who needed a paycheck, apparently.
Although, to be fair, he did work in something Aaron Sorkin related before, so I guess...
Loyalty.
Hello?
Hi.
Welcome back, Shira.
I don't know why this keeps happening.
Don't worry, you didn't miss anything.
Don't worry,
I guess...
Okay.
Also...
Sword hacking your feed.
Okay, basically, okay, here we go. They're going to explain now the real reason why Jobs was fired from Apple.
Yeah.
Haven't you got an important press conference to go to now? You couldn't.
Pretentious narration. Or exposition in this.
He can do this later, though, can't he?
Pretentious exposition waits for no one.
Too bad. I feel he feels like doing it now.
What is the point of these two different circumstances? It's like showing, oh, I'm saying this is how it went, but it turns out it's not quite that way.
Okay, the flashback bits in this are meant to portray what really happened.
Okay.
Hey Shiroi, since you're a Mac user, what do you think of this incredible, exciting story of how Steve Jobs,
revolutionized the Mac.
TV shows have made jokes about all this better than this entire movie.
Hi, I'm a Mac, and I'm a PC.
I'm a PC too.
Can we get PC Principal on here to kick all these guys' asses?
I'm only a PC when it comes to gaming.
Sadly, political correctness is the least of this movie's problems from what I've seen.
Why are they arguing about this now? Jobs has got an important conference to go to.
I guess the guy wants him to rejoin Apple or something.
Joy in an Aaron Sorkin script. You're a funny guy, Jova. How could you do this to me?
This music is just so...
Unfitting.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't at all.
Okay.
Oh, it's fitting. It's fitting for the pretentious levels.
All right. Okay, I will say I haven't really seen a whole lot of Jeff Daniels' comedic roles, but I will say, seeing this and having also seen The Martian, he's a good dramatic guy.
Yep.
Although The Martian is a better movie.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I know they're not really similar, but I'm talking about more enjoyment factor.
Sure.
Gee, dropping the price. I would love to imagine that this is what happened when people were talking about the Xbox One at the first
Actually,
point.
Jova, this feels more to me like the conversation between Hayao Nakayama and Tom Kalinske when Kalinske said he wanted to drop the price of the Genesis in the US to try to get it to sell.
Hey guys, I got one.
What?
If they drop the price of movie tickets for this movie, this one's bombed.
I'm pretty sure it would have bombed anyway.
Sounds like we're watching some kind of exciting
movie.
Yeah, it sounds like we're watching a superhero movie or something. Except I wish we were, because if it were, then something exciting would be happening.
What you're saying, Pedro, is what you wish is for Magneto and Super Jeff Daniels to fight and stuff.
Don't you see, Dwebs? Steve Jobs
sounds like the musical piece from a documentary or something.
Yeah, don't you see, Dwebs? Steve Jobs is the hero we need, but not the one we deserve. Also, this scene is going on for a bit too long. We get it. You don't have to...
Yeah, this probably need 5-10 minutes max.
Are they even having this argument?
Again, I mean, maybe
this is them complaining about. Basically, they're arguing about Steve Jobs being fired from Mac and why.
Okay.
I get that, but why are they arguing about it?
Okay.
I mean, if he's already been fired, why is this guy even showing up?
All right.
Because Aaron Sorkin wants to hear more bitching.
Okay, my problem isn't the scene. Okay, the problem isn't that they're doing this scene. My problem is when. I mean, Jobs is supposed to go to an important conference that's going to start pretty much any moment, and yet he's wasting his time standing there arguing with his former boss.
I'm wondering, did this actually happen in real life?
I don't know.
I mean, if it did happen in real life, then that's the problem with movies like these. It's like, well, sometimes it feels like you have to do homework just to know if this stuff is legit.
Yeah, see, okay, like me and Jova were saying. Clint Eastwood's J. Edgar, Martin Scorsese's Wolf of Wall Street. Even if you don't know anything about J. Edgar Hoover or Jordan...
Guys, look at the rain falling. That's representing how bad the situation is.
Yes.
I think you're behind us, Dubs, but hey, you go on, Pedro.
Yeah, classic. Danny Boyle was basically pulling an Orson Welles, using subdued lighting to convey that. Anyway, yeah, what I said. Yeah, what I was saying was, you don't. Okay, you can watch Clint Eastwood's J. Edgar and the Martin Scorsese's Wolf of Wall Street without knowing who J. Edgar Hoover is, and especially people who are not Americans most likely will not know unless they've done their research. And the same thing for Jordan Belfort, because Jordan Belfort is once again is someone who pretty much most non-Americans will not know unless they go out of their way to research it for some reason. But those movies work as their own stories. You see?
Yeah. I mean, heck, even movies like Titanic, while they may have occasional historical inaccuracies, those still work as their own stories in the general sense.
Also,
this though,
yeah.
Well, yeah, go on, Pedro.
That shot where we just see half of Steve's face, it's symbolic of him being torn apart between.
You're tearing me apart, Jeff Daniels. Okay, Jeff Daniels' character's name is...
They're really still having this argument.
They're still going! Make them stop! Make them stop!
I can't. I didn't direct him right this, okay?
Dude, you fired...
Shiroi, throw your cat at them to scratch their faces or something. I don't know. Somebody do something! Somebody do something!
You know, wouldn't it have been nice to have just shown all this in real time and, not have to have it be a flashback?
Not just that. Could you please get to the point and move on?
I am ashamed to be an Apple user right now.
Honestly, Shiroi, in this case, actually, I'm going to play that in terms of that. Because this movie isn't even so much about Apple as much about watching people... get pissed off. I mean, yeah, we're talking about why he was fired from Apple.
Wait. Why are we
wasn't that the thing with the social network as well? That it wasn't so much about Facebook rather than...
Not just that. Yeah, what you just said. Let me finish, Jova. You see, yeah, okay, yes, it's true. They did mention Apple. They're talking about why he was fired from Apple. We also had that conversation with the friend about why he's not a genius and shit like that. We have that, yes. But the movie hasn't really even gone into any detail about how he managed to accomplish all of these things. Instead, it just skips ahead. You know what would make this movie more interesting? If we started right from the beginning and watched Steve go from a humble programmer and, kind of start his own company, and we could see him, go from being this ambitious, young, passionate, engineer, and eventually forming his own company, maybe eventually doing a Fall from Grace kind of story. That would be a lot more. Yeah, that would be a lot.
Basically, his rise with redemption, like Joe was had.
Yeah, that would be a lot. Wouldn't that story be a lot more interesting than this?
That's exactly what I mentioned earlier. No, we're not getting it. What the?
We're just watching unrelated. We're just watching uninteresting.
Oh yeah, there was a conference. I almost forgot about that.
We're just watching uninteresting side events that that are not really interesting in terms of Steve Jobs' life in general. I don't care about this woman. I don't care about his daughter. Just show me the actual story of how Steve Jobs became the man he was. That's all you have to do.
This movie seems to have a lack of focus because I go, okay. I mean, I guess to be fair, this movie is called Steve Jobs, so I guess it's all about everything in his life and stuff. But, movie... But here's the thing, though. The movie seems to change what it wants the main theme of the movie to be like. Well, does it want to focus on Steve Jobs, with his company? Or does it want on Steve Jobs and his family? And, okay, maybe we were supposed to get that from the get-go that it's trying to focus on everything because the movie's called Steve Jobs, but the movie wasn't clear until the midpoint, pretty much, when, he started associating with his daughter more.
Yeah, that's what Wall Street did. We started out following Jordan Belfort as a young stockbroker who was just starting out at Wall Street. Eventually, when he had to leave because, the crash of the late 80s, and then he formed his own company, and he went to the top, and of course he had his fall from grace. It was still completely based on the original story. That's because that's
exactly what else is going to show this movie. We never really get to see Steve at his supposed best, which is during the conferences.
Okay. Steve is admitting that the only reason he made this thing next, the company, is so that eventually some business stuff will happen, and thus Apple will have to buy the company, and he can become back to Apple, go back to Apple.
Wow, he planned that all from the get-go.
So wait, honestly, he kind of seemed like he was kind of fed up at Apple. Why would anyone want to take him back? I mean, the movie showed and told us that he was pretty much a headache for Apple. That wasn't at times it wasn't really worth it. So why do you want him? Why do you want to take him back?
Again, this is an issue with this sort of historical stuff. Because
there we go. We don't see the
okay, whenever it's a historical biographical film, some writers can use the excuse, well, this is what happened in real life, and they feel they don't have to explain it because
stop this crazy thing!
That thing didn't actually have a rhyme or...
What's going on?
Are you okay?
What's going on? Are we switching... Okay, did Aaron Sorkin get bored? So, okay, let's switch the channel. I don't... is the movie zapping for the channels or something? What's going on?
It's going forward 10 years.
Okay, movie, this is not how you do a montage.
And this music doesn't work here either. It's too peppy and cheerful.
Simpsons. Oh, look, something that would rather be watching.
Yeah, that Newton thing didn't work.
Oh, hey, Bill Gates. Also, why are we now shooting this movie with a phone? Oh, never mind.
Wait,
no, the movie's collapsing onto itself. No.
1998.
Jesus Christ, editor! What the fuck?
Okay, this is now.
Sorry, that last bit made it seem like it was made in Movie Maker or something.
Yeah. Oh, here's the real Steve Jobs. Or is it that Fassbender?
Yeah, it's Fassbender again.
Okay, now he actually looks like Steve Jobs.
The last act of
Okay. I think I'm starting to see now. He cast him as Steve Jobs specifically because of this part of his life. Because he actually looks like Steve Jobs was like in his later years. Not so much because... Okay, in that case, cast another actor for younger Steve Jobs. Because again, like I've shown in that picture that I got, Fassbender looks nothing like the young Steve Jobs.
Yeah, he looks a lot like him now.
Yeah, he looks a lot... Now he actually looks like Steve Jobs.
I mean, both like...
Okay, Shiroi, introducing Shiroi, the new Mac, and it's out now.
The iMac.
Yes, well, I barely remember this because I was free at the time.
Oh, guys, okay, you know how the second act of the movie didn't really have the whole... credit the Apple II team thing because Steve didn't work for Apple at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming back in full force now.
And I'm picturing Steve Jobs showing up and revealing the new Yokai watch. That reminds me of that. Be sure to look forward to episode 28 of Yokai Watch because that's the one that has Steve Jobs.
Now she looks more like Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wait. Actually, that's not Kate Winslet.
Weird.
No. That's okay. Andrea Cunningham. She's played by. Hang on, let me check the cast list again.
So is that one Kate Winslet over there?
That one is, yeah. The one with the black hair. Okay, Andrea Cunningham. She's played by Sarah Snook. She's I actually saw her in another movie called Predestination. It's interesting.
So Shiro, you like that good old late 90s Mac? Shiro?
I guess not.
Yeah.
Huh?
Do you like this good old fashioned 90s Mac?
I've never even seen this thing before.
Well, now
I remember seeing one when I was like 3.
I didn't even have a computer in my house until God knows when. Like, not even a desktop.
Well, now you know how computers looked back then.
Let's see. How old were you at the time, Pedro? Were you like?
Hang on. Is it?
Well, this is 1998, right, Whips?
Oh no, I knew how they looked back then. I didn't know how these Mac ones looked.
Well, yeah. Back then, back then I was 12 years old, Jova.
Wait,
is it? Shoot, and I was only 3.
Wait, is it me or does Kate Winslet actually look younger here?
I know.
It's
right?
because of the hair, the new hairdo and like glasses. The thing is, Kate Winslet doesn't really look good with short hair and glasses. I think she looks. I think the longer hair and the black glasses. Her beauty strikes more because of it.
That makes me wonder, actually, how the heck did the woman? Did the woman get contacts or something? Laser eye surgery?
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe.
Also, are they gonna do anything about his daughter anymore?
Yes.
Well, his daughter is probably like 20 now.
So has he acknowledged the girl is?
Let me guess. The daughter doesn't want to go to college.
You'll see.
So basically, for now on, it's going to be, hey, why don't you go to? Aren't you supposed to be at college? Aren't you supposed to be at college? You've been doing this since you were 5.
It's weird.
You haven't changed a bit.
It's weird how they reversed. Now he has glasses and now she doesn't. Well, he seems nicer, I guess. Maybe they're actually going to make him more likable at this point.
We're literally three quarters into the movie. It's a bit too late for that.
Has he still not regarded her as his real daughter?
Will he ever do that?
No, not unless she actually starts going to school for once.
Also, what about his wife? What became of
her? She's apparently now unhinged mentally.
Oh, boys. So she's in an asylum.
Not quite an asylum. Apparently she's taking therapy. Oh, look, Steve Jobs is happy now because he's finally getting those sales figures he wanted.
Only took him a heck of a lot of years, but finally he made it.
You know, I know I'm supposed to be happy for him right now, but I'd be.
Don't worry,
he and everyone else have been a total asshat up until this point.
Oh, I just feel a sigh of relief that there's no yelling.
Thank you. Thank you. We totally needed that shot of Michael Fassbender's balls. I don't.
Oh, Jova.
What?
Jova, there's a whole 40 minutes left of this movie.
There's still plenty of time
for. I didn't say that it's over. I was just saying hindsight. Yeah, saying he's going to
I know, but that's plenty of time for things to go tits up.
Danny. Michael Fassbender's balls are not really a point of interest. Could we please? Thank you.
What are you saying, Pedro? I'm sure all the teenage girls out there are getting it.
I don't.
Okay. Lisa is now 19, and apparently the mother sold off the house that he bought.
Oh boy, they're going at it again.
Oh wait.
Wait. What was that about a pipe bomb in the water?
For a moment there, I thought the characters actually had some kind of warmth in their bones. Whew.
We're having the obligatory smash up the room scene.
That was the close one. For a moment there, I thought there was going to be some actual humanity in this movie. Whew. That was a close one.
Oh, the accent. It's showing now better.
Oh my days! I was hoping she wouldn't say that, but I thought she'd say that.
Is that striking a certain nerve I should know about?
No, like everyone's an ass.
Oh, that.
Okay. This part's trying to have her call Steve out on Steve Jobs' shit because he's like, basically she's saying, you know, the best part of you shouldn't be what you make, it's who you are, and she's criticizing his parenting.
Hindsight. Again, hindsight.
Hindsight's a bitch.
I wish I could be as positive as you all the time, Jova.
Oh, who said well, yeah, I mean...
Don't worry, Shiroi. Don't worry, Shiroi. We still have the rest of Lightning Returns to test it if it's truly unbreakable.
Yep. That wall is slowly cracking.
Just to give you an idea, just to give you an idea, Jova, Jova, just to give you an idea, Dwebs. You know how Jova has this wall of positivity that's nigh unbreakable? Well, Lightning Returns in the most recent part managed to slightly crack it a bit. So we're still seeing if it will eventually break down.
He had a little bit of an outburst. We're gonna see how far it can go.
How's this movie testing Jova's crack?
Oh no! Oh, bless! This movie's fucking tame compared to Lightning Returns. This is a walk in the park compared to it. Trust me.
With this movie, I can just snark at it all day. But with Lightning Returns, well, let's just say it goes into occasionally Mega Man X7 territory for me.
Oh, by the way, I keep looking around like in shops for PS3 games,
and
I always see a copy of Lightning Returns. Okay. No, thank you.
You know what you could do?
Okay, guys, let's get back to this. You know, you got like billions of parts left of Lightning Returns for you to bitch about that. But anyway,
not that many actually. The game's short, but go on, Dwebs. What's up?
Okay. Apparently, Jobs is pissed at this. Is pissed at one of his former employees. This guy, because he paid for his daughter's tuition when he didn't.
Also, this argument is still going.
This is Aaron Sorkin's modus operandi for this movie, I guess. Establish an argument and then stretch it beyond recognition.
I mean, okay, I get that debate is a big thing of the business world, and again, maybe this stuff happened in real life. Although I would sort of question how they know stuff this in depth.
Yeah.
But again, this is what frustrates me about movies like this. I have a hard time telling what's legit or not. I mean, now granted, we can piece together that Steve Jobs wasn't this much of an a-hole, apparently. But we're still left in the dark on some things.
Yeah, just like how dark the movie theaters were, so that no one could see that no one was in those theaters. Yeah, this time of 2015 was a pretty bad time for Universal. This movie came out and it bombed. Then I don't know if it was later on or earlier on. Gem and the Holograms came out and it bombed.
Wait. Oh my god, you're right. Universal did Gem and the Holograms. Yeah. You wouldn't think it from how awful that movie was. Now, would you?
Second I thought you were choking.
Hiccup.
Okay, so Jobs is chastising this guy for helping his daughter pay her tuition.
The nerve of you! Giving her socks!
Oh, money for socks.
Hell, you're a shitty father anyway.
Yeah.
What do you care? So yeah, Joe, so much for Jobs getting better.
So he finally admits to her being his daughter, and he's mad that someone's better at it. Wait. Oh, so what happened to her mother then? If she's the one.
You probably should have established that earlier.
So what happened to the mother then?
She's apparently a bit unhinged now, and she's seeing a.
Oh my God, Dwebs! Please tell me they're not going to have this dramatic scene where we're supposed to feel sorry for the girl and their issues and shit like that.
You'll see.
We literally skipped from her being 5 to her being 19, and now you expect me to suddenly care about her?
Also, Dwibs, they said that it was Lisa, the daughter, who's having a therapist.
Yeah, I know.
No. Let's get about the wife.
I think they're going on about the mother having a...
The wife left at this... The wife left at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was a terrible mother.
Everybody's a terrible everything.
But the fact that Steve Jobs is apparently a better father than the woman was a mother.
The only decent people in this movie, to an extent, are Kate Winslet's character and the guy Jobs is talking to.
Yeah.
Because, when Jobs wouldn't act like a father, he stepped in and helped.
So apparently the mother wasn't even Jobs, because the mother only looked after her daughter for like 5 years, and Jobs has apparently been keeping her afloat for all those other years. Well, then again, I'm going off of what I've seen because this movie is skipping around so much. It's like,
there's no excuse for useless parents.
Steve's like, like Dwib said, like he was the one who stepped in and actually acted like a parent. And Steve's like, how dare you do nice things?
How dare you care about the child that I should be caring about, but I don't because I'm a dick.
Oh, still in this one scene when you think about it. This is like a musical. Only musicals have limited budgets. If
this movie were a musical, it would be a lot more interesting.
Yeah,
could you imagine? Hey, Dwibs, and I'm imagining Michael Fassbender singing about how wonderful it is to be an asshole.
Okay, I so want that. I so want to see that movie now.
Wonderful to be an a-hole. It's wonderful to be an a-hole. You can be evil, delicious, and mean. You can really be like Charlie Sheen. Hey. I came up with that on the fly, but I'm thinking about patenting that.
Yeah. Okay, I want Michael Fassbender to sing that in a movie. But yeah, now he's apparently... Okay, here we go.
Seriously.
I don't want people to dislike me.
And... Oh, it doesn't matter. Could have fooled me.
Yeah, you were threatening.
Yeah, Joe brought up a good point with the skipping, by the way. Yeah, the fact that they keep skipping all over, it doesn't really. There's no narrative flow, really. We're not really watching any kind of arc going on. It's just here's this point in his life. Here's this another point in his life. Now we're skipping like 12 years, and now we're here.
It's like Beyond all over again.
Or 10 years.
Well, to give it credit, at least this is in order. At least it's in order.
The sad thing is when United Passions did it, it was stupid. But in this case, this is the story of one guy, not a whole company, because the movie literally is called Steve Jobs. Seriously, it's one thing when, you're doing it for people, and Lord knows I was mainly just kissing their asses, but I digress still. It's one thing when you do it...
Why did this even need to be a movie? It should have been a 1-hour documentary or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're really,
But Shiri, of course it had perfect sense to make a movie, even though the last Steve Jobs movie, which came out 2 years earlier, wasn't all that great. It didn't make that much money at the box office. You got Aaron Sorkin attached to this, and Danny Boyle and Michael Fassbender. How could it go wrong? Oh wait, it bombed.
That's really a sad thing about this, because whenever historical dramatic films try to do this sort of stuff, they take advantage of the fact that they're historic. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't good historical dramas or comedies or historical films that aren't documentaries, but when you're literally just going from era to era with no real sense of good transition, and if you're going to insist that we care so much for certain characters, well then I'm just gonna ask, why don't you make it either like a mini series or a documentary? Same thing I said for United Passions.
The Andy gag again.
This isn't funny. But hey, we got more of that interesting 80s music coming up from what it sounds like.
Even though this is 1998. Okay, one thing I wish this movie could have done?
What?
Maybe go a little bit into his,
psyche?
Yeah, that. But maybe also his death. This is a I mean,
so does the movie okay, what time point does the movie end? Or are we like in the last we're in the last part of the movie?
Yeah.
Well, time wise.
Yeah,
there's 30 minutes left.
Seriously? There's so much more you could tell. Like from 1998 to 2011 in his death. I mean, not just the death, but wasn't there a lot more that happened with Mac in between? Well, I mean, I guess since it's Universal, they can't really mention Disney.
Well, I'm at least glad. I'm at least glad they didn't show everything he did as a co-owner of Pixar, because otherwise we would have some kind of fat actor playing an asshole version of John Lasseter.
Especially considering John Lasseter made a point about that scene in the Black Friday Toy Story thing.
Yeah.
Black Friday's Toy Story.
Basically,
because basically,
the scene in the movie, it kind of played out like an Aaron Sorkin movie where everyone was just a bunch of downers.
Yeah, the original
was that Toy Story. Whoa, there's the thing that caused the lawsuit, the shark photo.
Yeah, basically, Joe, Black Friday Toy Story was the original reel that that Pixar made back when Jeffrey Katzenberg was being his usual stupid self, telling Pixar, and I'm quoting, more edge, more cynical, more adult, whatever. And basically, as a result of that, they made an Aaron Sorkin style Toy Story, which of course was terrible, but fortunately they reworked it just in time.
Is this where the whole Steve Jobs thing came from? That shark?
No. Steve Jobs is just level 5, basically paying a little homage to Steve by making a yokai version of him, basically.
So, we're not even seeing his daughter yet, on screen. We're just hearing about what happens to her.
Later.
Does his daughter ever show up again?
Yes.
Oh, Keen. I'm guessing
Honestly...
that his...
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm guessing that his ex-girlfriend, the mother, never shows up again.
No. Oh, God, he's doing that again.
Okay, let me guess.
Guys,
the daughter pops into the back of the audience, right?
Yes. Please tell me that's what happens.
Dibs?
Sorry?
Please. The daughter pops in at the back of the audience.
That's what's going to happen, isn't it?
That's totally going to happen, isn't it?
You see. Hang on. Let's see what Wozniak's going to be asking. Really? You're still going on about acknowledging the Apple II team? That was years ago.
What do they even have to do with this current Mac
we please
anyway?
get over this?
Because they're the guys that made the first big success at Apple. But it was years ago. Move on.
And yeah, the real Wozniak clearly said, I don't talk like that. So this is one thing that we know for sure is...
kind of BS.
Yeah. Oh, what do you know? She's sitting at the back.
Well, actually, this is not the daughter. This is Kate Winslet.
Oh. Wait. He's talking to Kate. He's talking to Kate Winslet right there. It sounded like they were talking about a girl sitting at the back. Tell who it's important what now.
By the way, Shiroi.
Huh?
Ah, okay. You know what you should do over the week? Instead, since you're looking for PS3 games, you know what you should do over the week? Buy Ni no Kuni, and then both you and Alice play it together, because I'm positive that Alice will love Ni no Kuni.
She will. What were you going to say about Lightning Returns? Because I keep seeing it everywhere.
No, that's exactly what I was going to answer, exactly.
Just buy Ni no Kuni.
Buy Ni no Kuni so that you and Alice can have a game to play together.
So what should she do if she sees Lightning Returns?
I should burn it. I should burn.
Again, the only reason Wozniak's giving for crediting the Apple II team, because it's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do, damn it!
You know, maybe I could have bought this all those years ago, but at this point, the Apple II team has little to nothing to even do with the current Mac.
So yeah, I'm not seeing Wozniak's point here.
Poor Wozniak. I'm talking about the real Wozniak.
That was years ago. Get over it.
I can't believe this, but I'm actually siding with Steve Jobs because, like, okay, even if it were years ago, I would buy into this if the Apple II team, had something to directly do with this. But they don't really. I mean, at best you could say, oh, they released this which helped the company from not going bankrupt before I came back on board after being fired.
Which was years ago.
Why did you have to use that analogy?
Beatles reference, Jova.
Well, no. I get the reference, but I mean, what the heck kind of reference are you? I mean.
Okay. Basically, John Lennon. Okay. Basically, John Lennon was the one that pretty much got all the fame, whereas Ringo Starr was kind of obscure, even though he himself, even though a lot of people will actually argue that Ringo Starr is better than John Lennon.
Exactly my point. And it's like, well, that kind of reference today, and okay. Maybe that. I mean, was that what it was like in the 1998 stuff? Did John Lennon get? You know what? No, because I've heard people were sending Ringo Starr letters all the time. So that analogy is stupid.
Just do it.
So wait. So this guy's argument is if they announced that they were related to this or that, people actually listened to them because that thing was the one successful thing that Apple.
Ugh.
I feel like I'm supposed to hate Steve Jobs, but I just don't really get it. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, this was awkward.
And pointless. I feel like this is supposed to be one of those things that shows us that Steve Jobs...
He's an asshole for refusing to credit a bunch of guys who aren't even at the company anymore and didn't have much to do with the building of this product, to my knowledge.
I get the feeling that this is supposed to be a scene that portrays Steve Jobs as a jerk to get us to hate him, but I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling it here. I'm actually siding with him on this.
Who are you siding with?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. I mean,
that guy's being nothing but a petty jerk, really.
I mean, seriously, work conditions for them were terrible before Steve Jobs was even the leader there, and he wants them to pay homage to them just because they made some system that was proper here and there. Look, it's not like you hear Sony every time say, "Oh, and we owe this to this guy who made." I don't know. It's like
if Sony launched the PS4 while banging on about, oh, this guy made the PS1, this guy made the PS2.
No. But here's a better analogy, Dwebs. It's like if Nintendo suddenly started criticizing Sony. It was because of us teaching Sony how to make consoles that the PlayStation 1 was even a thing, so Sony should give us credit and shit.
Or even worse, what if somebody at Nintendo said, hey, we should do, guys? We should pay homage to the people who made our love hotels, back when Nintendo had nothing to do with games. And yes, you're right, that's a real thing.
No, I know that. I know that's a thing that happened.
Yeah, it's imagine, it's like saying, and yeah, these kid-friendly games we make, we would like to pay homage to our old presidents who made these love hotels and these gambling things, some of which may be seen as illegal nowadays. Are we seriously doing this again in the same old room? What?
Yeah, basically, he was never really a contender for Man of the Year all those years ago.
Oh, he's calling her honey now?
Oh, no, it's John Scully.
Oh, him again. Yeah, so
I'm
what
so
votes do you
glad.
have?
I'm so glad I'm in an art form that is supposed to be about escaping the miserable world that is the real world. I get to watch people be miserable because that's what I totally. That's what I go to the movies for, right? So I can be reminded for 2 hours how miserable people can be.
Well, let's be honest, Pedro. Movies like Sweeney Todd do that amazingly well.
Yeah, but Sweeney Todd actually had likable characters.
Yes, it did. Can we do that movie soon?
Yes, we can someday. So, what role does this guy have now?
He was fired from Apple.
Wait, this guy?
Yeah,
well, I know that he fired Steve Jobs from Apple. I'm just wondering.
No. This guy's been fired now.
Oh, how because
of the failure of that Newton.
All right, movie. You've only got 15 minutes. If you're gonna pull a rabbit out of your ass, you better do it now.
I'll say. I mean, nothing remarkable about this movie has really happened. I mean, you know what? I'll give United Passions this. At least that movie was remarkable in how shady it was from start to finish.
Was that the one that was about FIFA?
Yeah.
This movie, on the other hand, nothing really remarkable except for maybe a few historical inaccuracies, like the like Steve Wozniak.
Yeah, this movie is just this movie isn't even annoying or obnoxious like Social Network. It's just boring.
So basically, this movie has problems similar to United Passions, but without the make you goddamn angry rage factor.
At least United Passions was kind of unintentionally funny at times.
Oh yeah, that too. Like, I kid you not, sure, right? United Passions at points felt like they were actually trying to reveal FIFA for the scumbags they are.
And that was supposed to be their big movie that they funded themselves, by the way, for the most part.
But Dwibs, want to tell Shure about who they had play the president by the end of the film? The most heroic possible person ever?
Tim Roth.
Anyway,
yeah, they had to... Go on.
Yeah. It's like Aaron Sorkin can again comparing Social Network and compare Social Network to this. It's like Aaron Sorkin can only either irritate us or bore us. He can't do anything in between.
Okay.
So he's offering the guy a job. I
don't think so.
So why are they having this?
I did a little bit of research. Apparently, this guy hadn't worked for Apple since he was fired, so visiting...
What's he even doing here? Is he giving him a congratulations or something? Mocking him?
Yes, he was visiting and stuff.
You know, your mother's just as big of a bitch as you are an ass.
Ooh.
That's where he got it from.
Yeah, pretty much.
I said suppose so often now. I'm gonna...
Wait. What's this about finding a biological father now? Or is he just making an analogy to him and his daughter?
All right, Joe, but just a reminder so I can delete it from my Mega account now.
Well, let's see. Yes, I've got the
zip file.
Zip.
Yeah. Okay. It's 800. It's over 800 megabytes in size and shit.
876.
All right.
And 876,489 kilobytes. Yep.
Yeah, I don't need the whole. In fact, if you have time after this, how about you screen share and I see you play a bit?
You really want to see me suffer, don't you?
Are you talking about Mighty Number 9?
Yes.
I'm gonna wait until the commentary for that.
I'm not quite sure if I'll have enough stamina to start it tonight, but you'll get to see some later, I promise you, baby.
Are we gonna be commenting?
Yeah, we are soon. After it will replace JFA temporarily.
before TNT.
Okay.
It's going to be like a 5-part playthrough anyway, since
And it's a new game, so
each level can be completed in
very
like
original
10
game.
minutes anyway, so it's going to be a really short playthrough.
Well, it's like the average thing is like it seems to have a 4-hour campaign, and yet some people can clear it in under an hour.
Oh yeah. If you know what you're doing, you can complete that.
Is it so glitchy that you can do it in an hour?
No, it's not. Okay,
Well,
let's get back to this first.
Well, we'll talk about that later. If there's anything to talk about, seriously!
This movie's so boring, I keep veering off. I just don't care about any of this.
Do you have any topics that we can talk about relevant to this movie? Because
I believe, unless I'm remembering it incorrectly, I believe they're going to bring up the daughter again.
I'm definitely seeing why this movie had lackluster sales.
Here we go.
Here's the daughter.
Oh, look! Finally!
So, yeah, she's showing up at the last 10 minutes, and now I'm supposed to care suddenly.
Also, black guy in the background. Cute. So, her mother has a disease. What?
So let me get this straight. Steve Jobs isn't even trying to help his wife?
Well...
Sorry, no, his ex-wife, sorry. His ex-wife.
Well, apparently she's not even his ex-wife, she's his ex-girlfriend.
Still, though.
Yeah. Well, he apparently bought them a house.
Well, first of all, Dad, how about you actually try to be a dad who helps and is there to try, and you also kind of help my mother. Yeah, I get that you were married to her, but you could at least have the decency of helping us.
Apparently, he bought them a house, but the mother...
You had like $1 bajillion hanging around. Would you kill you to spare a few?
Tell me about it. Apparently, he gave them a house, but apparently the mother sold the house for drugs or something. She's not well or something. I honestly am having trouble keeping up with this movie.
Again, can you really blame him as audience? I mean, this movie is just so cold and uninviting. It just...
And I get it. Maybe someone, probably likes this movie. So maybe somebody who can stick on with this movie should. But think about it like this. No one really talks about this movie. When a historical drama film
Michael Fassbender was nominated for an Oscar for it, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's like, think about it. Well, usually when a movie is good, you hear a lot about it. Now, there are a lot of golden, amazing classics that don't get talked about nearly as much as they should be, but when you actually watch this movie, audience, does this movie really cover that much about... Oh, well, okay, it does cover stuff, but this movie, again, lacks focus. 1 minute it's about Steve Jobs as a company, and half the time it doesn't seem to be that because we don't see a lot of conferences. And now we have parts like this, which are apparently just talking about him and his family troubles. And mind you, it ends at 1998, for a lot of the other cool stuff he did. Like, what about the iPod? What about stuff like the iPhone and onward? I mean, I'm pretty sure he did all that stuff before he died in 2011. And like Dwight said, why not focus on what the world is like after his death as well for a bit? It's like, it's a historical drama that leaves out so much and leaves so much to be desired. I mean, heck, I'll give United Passions this credit. At least United Passions actually pretty much went.
Okay, here we go. Coming up is supposed to be Jobs' redemption moment.
Really? Oh, no, they're not going to. What did it stand for? He named a computer after her. Is that for real?
Here we go. Yeah, it was named after her.
No, I mean in real life.
Probably.
I don't know.
Also, didn't his redemption sort of go on later in his life?
Well, it's a movie. They have to shoehorn it in now.
That's not what you say, dude. When she asks, you didn't say you don't know. You say, of course I do. It's because I love you and shit. You know, act like a human being, please.
Oh, now he doesn't care that he's late.
Because he realized that he's been a dick.
Okay. I get that you want to do a redemption moment, but you're not really supposed to do this about 8 minutes before the movie ends.
Also, from her perspective, it looks like she's in the middle of a street where she could easily get run over by a car.
Actually, isn't this a roof? Or
it's a rooftop parking space.
I know. It's just like from that perspective, almost.
And then she gets. I honestly thought that was going to be the twist. She gets run over by a car.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a roof. Yeah.
I know that too. It's like, that's what I was thinking for a bit.
Sorry, nose problems again.
But yeah. I'm gonna give United Passions a credit. That movie actually was something that was literally from past to past to present. Start to, what it is now, sort of thing. Oh, they're
really? You're trying to push the iPod into your daughter?
Wait, now you're mentioning iPod stuff? Seriously?
Hey, Shiroi, look at this. You get to hear 500 songs on one device.
And that means that we love you, because that's what this movie seems to be suggesting. Aren't we such great friends?
Buy an iPod, Shiroi. Buy an iPod.
No.
Oh, wait.
But I thought you were the Apple person.
But they got rid of the iPod that has by far the most space.
Really? They seriously did that?
Yes.
Dang.
Okay, guys, they're starting up this conference now.
Oh, buddy! Oh boy! Are they going to show? Are they going to show the Final Fantasy 15? Maybe. Oh wait, sorry, I'm getting confused.
It's a bit too early for that. Sorry, Pedro.
Oh, hey, you're back.
Credit the Apple II team, okay?
Oh God, no! Can we please shut up about that?
Actually, that's a weird thing. We never really resolved that plot point, did we?
Oh wait! Maybe this is let me guess. Redemption thingy. He actually does indeed credit him. Is that what's going to happen?
We'll see. Let's find out.
He credits him, and then he brings his daughter out on stage for whatever reason.
Alright. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, it's Steve Jobs. Gah. I'm glad I'm not.
Oh, I get it. That old note that she made a picture of.
I'm glad I'm not prone. I'm glad I'm not prone to seizures because I'd be on the floor in agony right about now.
Jeez, there's a lot of light flashing here.
Yeah, I hope they put a seizure warning before this movie.
Hey guys, more people in here than who actually saw the movie.
Well, Dwebs, look at it this way. Oh, this is the Porygon episode for adults.
Yeah. Now, battling seizure robots. Yeah, woo!
We literally have...
That actress looks familiar.
We literally have less than 5 minutes left.
And remember, the last 2 minutes is probably credits anyway, so, yeah.
And now he's walking towards her?
No, don't. You'll cause the world to go out of balance.
What's even happening during this scene?
This moment, the scene would have been effective if the movie had actually made me give a shit, but unfortunately I don't. So, whatever.
Wait, is the movie
going to end here?
What?
Yep,
That's how the movie just ends? Him walking towards you?
Fuck
That's the
you!
end.
Not even twins. No, twins. You tricked us. This is really just seed, isn't it?
I will fast forward the credits to find out.
So,
Like, is that like an extended version?
Hang on. Nope, that's it.
that's it.
That's it.
That's the movie.
Yep.
That entire
John Ortiz.
thing.
Wait, John Ortiz? Isn't that some Call Me Johnny's name? John Ortiz?
Different,
Yes, it
different one.
is.
So some call me Johnny has some splaining to do.
Hey, he was
we get
also
to
backer
blame
Mighty
him
number
for his movie
9.
now. We get to blame.
Well, apparently
Damn
he was
it.
also backer Mighty number 9, so
I
wouldn't be
took
his
it.
first, I guess.
Yeah, I
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Shiroi, did you know? Guess what? The credits of Mario Number 9 are actually longer than the game itself.
There are
I don't-
three
I don't-
numbers.
They go.
Wait a minute, did they
guys.
include all the Kickstarter
Yes,
names?
yes,
in the
they
credits?
literally credit every single backer.
Guys,
Yes.
not for nothing,
backers.
but we should end this.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
with the credits,
Hey,
I mean,
at least with Undertale, they used the
There's
backers
no-
to make a fun little game out of the credits.
Jova, there's no post-credit scene if that's what you
All
want.
right, all right. Let me get my final thoughts this
I
moment
know,
very short.
Blitz, I get
Okay,
it.
so
Actually,
basically,
can Dwips give them first since he picked the movie?
sure.
Actually, I'll go last.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
sure, you go first then.
No,
so-
Pedro. Pedro wanted to go first, so.
All right. This movie's boring, and quite honest, it's so uninteresting. And again, in typical Aaron Sorkin fashion, so cold and cynical that I could not bring myself to even be interested or pay attention to it. It's just so uninteresting. It's ugh.
Also, what does
The
the song
direction
have to do with
the direction is
Jacob?
bland. The score is good, but it doesn't fit. The score would have been good in another movie, but not this movie. It just feels out of place. The writing is it's so devoid of any kind of human feeling or wit or any amount of charm. It's the characters are all either dicks or just plain boring, uninteresting characters. And yeah, like Jova said, the editing and pacing is terrible. It keeps jumping from place to place, and it doesn't have any amount of narrative flow to it. It's terrible. It's terrible. That's it. That's a terrible movie. Go ahead, Jova.
Oh, sure, you go next, actually.
Okay, everyone's a complete and total asshole or bitch. The pacing was horrible. It tried to create moments that it didn't deserve. That was also a terrible ending, not just for this type of movie, but it was a terrible ending to, like, any movie.
Yeah.
The music was unfitting. It was just crap.
So, the opposite of the
Um,
movie we watched yesterday.
Sorry?
So, the opposite result of the movie we saw
The
yesterday.
exact opposite of that wonderful movie we saw yesterday.
Wait. Which movie are you talking about? I kind of...
Zootopia.
Oh, yeah.
Why did we have to watch that one first? I need to heal myself now.
Because remember, we were supposed to watch this yesterday, but, you know, difficulties with...
Yeah, of course.
Hey, look
We
at the
could have been
bright
watching
side,
Zootopia
Shiroi.
right now.
Look at the bright side, Shiroi. We might not have even gotten to watch a movie today. We could have just been stuck watching this movie. So, on the plus side, we got to see Zootopia before.
True.
Anyway, that's
Awesome,
sure.
got this over with now.
Yep, I'm done.
Go ahead, Jova.
My turn.
Oh, hang on. Let me before Jova starts. You know what's funny?
What?
What?
Guess what movies this film? You know, because this film was a financial failure. Guess what movies this flopped against?
I don't remember.
After last season.
No.
That movie's come out in 2009,
Talking about
Shiroi.
Germany. It lost out to The Martian. Okay. On this opening weekend nationwide, it lost out to The Martian and, of all movies, Goosebumps.
Oh,
But it didn't
goody.
lose out to Fan 4 Stick, I'm guessing.
No, Jova, I'm talking about the weekend of its release.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people would rather watch Jack Black as R.L. Stein.
Well, the Goosebumps movie turned out to be good, so sure.
Yeah. Okay, Joe, off you go.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a movie that's so clumsy. It's like, okay, this is a movie made to honor Steve Jobs after his death. So what do? We don't even include his death. I mean, seriously, what logic is there to that? It's like if, you made a movie about Martin Luther King Jr. and left out, the elephant in the room. He died doing what he did best. I mean, seriously, I mean, okay, I don't really know Steve Jobs. I've heard he was a jerk, but he did have redemption at some point. But heck, I feel sorry for him with this movie. Well, the real him. And, even the movie him isn't... I'm just so confused with this movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like I said before, the movie jumps around, but with no sense of timing or narrative here and there. I mean, I have to look up a guide just to understand where we are, consulting Dwibs here and there. No offense, Dwibs, you did a good job. I didn't have to ask you constantly where we are in a historic film. I mean, and this movie is just not good at portraying what's going on, and it does not do a good job at trying to pick out an overall goal. Even when it tries to look at all those things, it fails at that too. Because it forgets about the company at certain points completely. It forgets about his family at some points completely. Why should I even care if the movie is going to keep forgetting?
It's just not entertaining in general.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I say. If we're not really going to work to, grab our attention, then you should make it a documentary. That or like a TV miniseries going episode after episode with each chapter so that you can actually build up on each one properly if you feel that you can't do it in, a 2-hour movie. I mean, 2 hours is a lot, but to cover certain points in a history as big as Steve Jobs is, this movie could have been longer, I'll say. I know, it's kind of weird for me to say that. Wait, no, actually, it's not weird for me to say that. This movie should have been longer if they really wanted to try and do that. Or they should have focused on something better. And I cannot reiterate again how it feels just wrong to, end right at 1998. I mean, isn't that kind of more of an obscure? Well, okay, not completely obscure, mind you. I mean, it was the debut when he was on job. But what about all the other stuff he did later on afterwards? Is, none of that worth doing? I mean, sure, they sort of hinted at the iPod, but they didn't really do much with it. I mean, it's weird, but yeah, this movie had a lot of potential, yet wasted it. And that's one of the worst things you can do with a project, if you ask me. Waste clear-cut potential. Music was good, though. I'll give it that.
Unfitting, though.
Yeah. All right, Dwibs, the floor is yours.
Okay, positives. The acting was solid. You got Michael Fassbender was good as Steve Jobs. Kate Winslet, despite her fluctuating accent, was also good in her role. Seth Rogen, despite what he had to work with, he can actually pull off a very capable dramatic performance.
Yeah, Seth Rogen is a great actor. Yeah, Seth Rogen is a great actor. I love Seth Rogen.
Considering he's mostly known for comedies, and Jeff Daniels is good as well. Again, another guy who made the transition from comedy to straight roles.
Yeah.
In that case, let's watch 50-50 with Justin Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen. It's a really good movie. And Anna Kendrick, too.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a Jeff Daniels movie for a second there, but...
Yeah, in fact, objection reminded me of one other point. It's like, well, the acting is very good at times to the point where, while I could care less about the overall plot, it did at least catch my attention during those dramatic scenes with them arguing. I mean, yeah, the arguing was stupid, but the acting was done in a way well enough to grab my attention. I will give them that.
Plus,
oh yeah, you're right. The other issue, I don't know how this is actually legit or whatnot, so I'm not quite sure if I can actually complain about certain actions taken in this movie.
Plus, while Daniel Boyle's direction here wasn't great, it was certainly a lot better than David Fincher's direction. On the count that, Boyle actually has his scenes lit somewhat.
And you didn't see characters spouting CGI breath.
Yeah. And also they don't talk like they're on crack or speed or whatever.
I actually showed that clip of the CGI breath to Jova, and Jova was all like, wait, are they... I forgot, what did you say, Jova? I forgot.
I think I asked, is that really smoke or something?
Yeah, he thought it was smoke, not breath.
Is it worse than the CGI breath in Avatar?
Hold on, Shira, I'll show you. Keep going, guys.
And you know, Daniel Pemberton's music, again, while unfitting, like you guys mentioned, is at least music, which is more than I can say for Social Network. Okay, this movie is better than Social Network on technical grounds.
Yeah, it's better than. I actually think it's better than Social Network in pretty much every way, but the main reason for that is because it goes for it's the other extreme. Whereas Social Network is just annoying as fuck. This one's just boring. It's the other extreme.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, that's my biggest problem with the movie is, well, the script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And seeing as though the script is the foundation for a movie, yeah, I was... There were times where I was just getting annoyed at repeated stuff, especially the whole Apple II credit them thing, which, again, never happened. And that's the worst thing you can do in this kind of thing, put in something that both never happened and it's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering that by that point, 1998, it was well past, Apple II's time. And, why should he have to do it when he's trying to invent it? He's trying to market a brand new system, not trying to hark back to an old one.
Yeah.
And it's like you guys said, when the characters weren't annoying, they were just boring.
It's kind of a shame, really.
Despite, I mean, come on, you got Michael Fassbender and Kate Winslet. How do you make them dull? And also, Jobs is... Honestly, Jobs is kind of also schizophrenic. Half the time he's a decent person, not great, but other times he's just a complete dick. Half the time it happens in the same scene.
Yep.
I don't know if that was like that in real life, and if it was, then okay, fine. But if it wasn't, then
needless padding.
Yeah,
if that's the case.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also the times they chose to think. Okay. I understand why those times were chosen, but maybe you could have had some other times as well. Like, you didn't even mention his death.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, what the hell?
Yeah. You're going about it like he was still alive or something.
And what was up with that ending? I ask again. I mean, it's just him walking towards his daughter.
I guess it's supposed to be symbolic of him finally, he's walking towards her, meaning it's symbolic of him finally deciding to, be in her life and shit or something. I don't know.
I don't even know, really. Okay. Yeah, that's about it, really, because it's 1:25 here. Jesus.
See you, everybody.
I've just seen, that's CGI breath. Jeez.
Okay, so yeah, that's Steve Jobs. I hope you enjoyed our commentary. Join us for another Sorkin thing. Maybe it might be with Jova, it might be without Jova. We'll see.
It's probably gonna be with me next time because it's
maybe we'll watch A Few Good Men, so we can at least watch something better from him. Anyway, see you guys.
See ya.
See ya.